Since last weekend, there were hints of a potential winter storm impacting the southeast, and as of now, we're about 3 days out at the most, and we've got some changes already in the forecast.
Yeah, and almost every forecast works this way, where there's some shifting north or south. It's rarely about whether the storm happens or not. It's more about the timing and the placement. And we're getting closer to the right answer on this, we believe, and this is the latest update that we have. And as you're looking at that map, there's a lot to take in: the high, the medium, the low. What does all that mean? Well, this is where I think we probably are below freezing for a good solid 24 hours from Friday night through Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. That's northwest Alabama, so that's where the impact would be the greatest. This basically covers where the winter storm watch is, including Fayette, Lamar, Walker, Winston, Marion, Coleman, Blount, Etowah, Marshall, DeKalb, Cherokee. And then you notice the line may clip a county or two here and there that's not in that watch. Well, that's also where we have that low probability of any impacts from ice or other types of wintry weather, freezing rain, sleet, snow. You get south of Shelby County and south of Tuscaloosa County, south of Talladega County, the impact is primarily just rain. So what has changed since the last forecast? Well, there's a stronger, slower area of low pressure that gets farther north, and that makes a bigger deal. The impacts are shifting about 75 miles north from this morning, where we thought maybe as far south as Chilton. Well, now maybe as far south as Walker or Jefferson. So about a 75-mile difference there. Heavy rain is still likely, regardless of whether you get wintry weather or whether it is just a cold soaking rain. Most of us are going to get at least 1 to 2 inches of total rainfall. Some will get more than 3 or maybe 4 inches of total rain. Best case scenario, a lot of us are going to be in this. And believe me, it's not a picnic. It's going to be a cold, steady rain with little to no ice buildup, but it's minor impacts to daily life. The farther south you are, the closer you are to the best. The worst, that's up around the shoals. The way it looks right now, long duration storm here, widespread power outages, roads that could be impassable. And then we have this most likely setup where it applies to a pretty big area of north and central Alabama where it's majority rain, but some of it could come down as freezing rain or sleet. There's a low risk of some power outages or some temporary travel issues. So when does all this happen? Saturday through Sunday, 2 to 3 inches of rain, some ice possible in that winter storm watch area. Impacts are primarily low amounts of ice accumulation and some localized flooding in the places that we don't get any sort of significant freezing or frozen precipitation. Total rain, based on some of our guidance here, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. Here's how we think it's going to play out. Of course, we've got rain out there now, more showers during the day Thursday and Friday, and then early Saturday, the rain begins to change over to freezing rain in northwest Alabama, and it may stay closer to that freezing point up there around Lauderdale County as opposed to Coleman County through the duration. That's why it's a much bigger deal to the north than to the south. But eventually, as the colder air starts to sweep through, there may be just a temporary, brief moment where there could be a little bit of light snow or some sleet or even freezing rain late Sunday night through Monday morning. And that's why we're not closing the door on this whole thing for Jefferson County. But the greatest impacts most likely to the north. That's where the ice would be the biggest problem. And then around here in the Birmingham metro, it is primarily just some occasional brief impacts that would come with the ice. There's the rain that we've got coming through tonight. Jordan, we're going to fall into the 40s tonight, 50s tomorrow, but it's all about the track of this storm system as to why we're having to make these forecast changes.
That's right. It's a difficult forecast for sure. And the main component, the low, hasn't even developed fully just yet. This is 7 a.m. Friday, develops right over the northern Texas area. And where this goes is going to depend on what those impacts will be. For example, if it moves further south down the Gulf Coast, there's a higher impact for Alabama. But what it is appearing to do, at least with the more recent model runs, it's going to move north where there are lower impact risk for Alabama ultimately. But here's the feature track. You can see that low moving north and east. And once it moves further north, it allows for warm, moist air to move in from the Gulf. Temperatures climb to the 50s. We're just too warm for any of that wintry precipitation. And then after that moves east, temperatures drop big time. Talking about lows by Tuesday morning in the single digits and the teens, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. It's just cold. Lows in the teens and 20s, highs in the mid 30s, climbing to the upper 40s by Wednesday of next week.